Donna, you're muted.
You're
Donna,
muted,
you are
Donna.
muted.
Donna, you're
Can't
muted.
hear you.
We can't hear you. Sound is
Okay, there.
There.
I should be unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
All right, I was just saying it was great to check in with you on the gallery view. And if I look down like that, it's because I'm looking at you guys. And so it doesn't look like I'm not looking at the camera, which is straight ahead, but you're down there. So I hope you've been enjoying the weekend. We had the long weekend. Of course, what I felt like, someone asked me, are you doing something for the long weekend, for the Memorial Day weekend? And I just said, well, it's sort of like every other weekend. I go hiking if I feel like it, and do whatever we feel like doing pretty much. But I hope you were able to do something special now that the weather is getting really nice. It's really great. Did a lot of gardening. And so my body, I don't know about yours, but my body is really feeling all that lifting and pulling and crouching and all the things that I was doing the other day. I'm really looking forward to a nice long yoga practice to work with all of those things. And just getting outdoors more and being outside. I'm enjoying so many things. I love to get out in the morning with my ginger bear, and who is in the room here with me, if you may see her walk in. I love to go out before anyone else is up in the morning. It's our time to just listen and be outdoors. And the birds are just magnificent first thing in the morning. We have a house finch or two house finches, a pair, that has taken up residence right above our front door in, I hate to say it, but an old wreath that I left there since Christmas. And they are living in that wreath. They have babies and they're chirping, and it's just so sweet because the male is quite the songster. So it's a joy. It's a big joy. The poem that I chose to share with you this morning really has this one section, just one little line really, that really stood out to me. And that line is, sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed. Sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed. And I find that so true. Every day I'm able to just find something that makes me feel so happy and blessed. But I'll read you Mary's poem, Mary Oliver. It was early, which has always been my hour to begin looking at the world. And of course, even in the darkness, to begin listening into it, especially under the pines where the owl lives and sometimes calls out as I walk by, as he did this morning. So many gifts. What do they mean? In the marshes where the pink light was just arriving, the mink with his bristletail was stalking the soft-eared mice. And in the pines, the cones were heavy, each one ordained to open. Sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed. Little mink, let me watch you. Little mice, run and run. Dear pine cone, let me hold you as you open. So with that heart filled with gratitude for the many gifts that are there each morning, each day, let's bring our hands together and join together as we affirm, with great respect and love, we come to the practice of yoga. With great respect and love, we come to the practice of yoga, joining in Om. Inhale, drawing yourself up tall, lifting your heart right up into your hands. And exhale as you bow to your heart. Let's release the hands, lift the head, and shrug the shoulders up to the ears, gently drawing them down the back. Let's do this a few times, and if you feel ready to open your eyes to the brightness of the day, go ahead and do that. Remember to keep uplifted through the abdominals so that you're not collapsing in the lower spine as you work with your shoulders. And let's do one shoulder at a time. Just feeling any work that you've been doing, it might still be going on in your body. Digging, shoveling, raking, who knows? We all do stuff. And then go ahead and start shifting way out to one side, lengthening your side body on that side, lifting from your pelvic floor and into your belly as you shift side to side. And this is much more than a side stretch. We're working this way out of the hip, lumbar spine. Let's make a little twist out of it now as we do. Feel that work its way into the back. It's just a little twist. More of the shift, a little of the twist. If you find a place that you really like coaxing the stretch, then just hang out in that. Keep your hips grounded. Okay, and then coming back up, let's really support from within and come around in a circle, keeping your sit bones grounded here. Going back around the other way, noticing any sensations that arise in your lower back from all of your reaching and pulling perhaps. All mine. Going around the other way if you haven't changed directions. And noticing where you're feeling the sensation. I'm not seeing your practice, so I just want to say it's better for this kind of action that your legs are somewhat wide apart. I know some of you sit in Virasana where your knees are forward and you're kind of in a kneeling position. If you can widen your knees, you'll have a better base of support for this. And for this twist, so letting your body draw up tall, slide the hands in. Actually, let's slide them out and do cat-cow for a moment, pulling the abdominals in. Inhale, lifting up. Hands slide back, elbows bend, drawing the shoulder blades back. Exhale, coming forward. Let's do that a few more breaths, focusing on the fullness of your breath. Again, if you feel like you'd like to just stay in one place for a moment and feel, that's always good. Paying attention to what our body's asking for. And so as you do this, remember to listen for what your body's asking for. Maybe it's needing a little extra loving care today. Let's move into the twist now. So we're going to slide one hand forward and the back hand towards your hip that you're turning towards, and slide the other way. Just slide. I'm using my front hand here on the front of the knee to press. Maybe you'd like to stay in one of your twists or both. Now let's come back to center and just turn the head only. As you do this, lift up the heart a little more so you're not collapsing the upper back. And turn the head the other way. And back. And the other side. And back to center. Reach up through the tips of your ears at center. Now draw with your nose. You can start with a small circle, making it a little bigger as you feel to. Keeping the uplift through the sides of the neck. And go back the other way. Keeping your circles in a fairly level plane that's vertical, so that you're not tipping your head way back as you do this. Okay, coming back to center. Shrug your shoulders up to the ears again, and back and down. Keep that pelvic floor uplift. And settle in for a moment. Listening to your breath, you could close your eyes and hear the breath within you. Hear it coming in through the nose, passing through the back of the mouth, resonating there. In and out through the nose. Focus on the sound of your breath and the smooth steadiness of it, in and out. Take as long as you need for each breath. And there might even be a slight pause between each. As the breath rises, can you feel the movement of your breath rising through the lower part of your body and into the sides of your ribs? And then into the upper lungs. See if you can feel the pathway of the breath as it expands within you. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, sweep the arms out to the side and reach them skyward. And reach up through one hand. And then the other. Lengthening up through the side of your ribs. Breathe into that area. Shifting and breathing. Now bring both hands behind the head, clasping there just below the downward curve of your skull, the occiput. Pressing wide the elbows, draw inward and upward, and stack your head over the spine. Press your head into your hands and resist with the hands. Keeping the neck long here, the back of the neck and the front. And you should be feeling some muscles in the back of the neck and from the tops of the shoulders connecting. Probably the levator scapulae, I think. And let's turn the palms way up, stretching skyward. Reach up out of the back of your waist. Sweep them down. Clasp them behind. Roll the shoulders down and lengthen the arms back there, lifting your heart. And let's exhale, bring the namaste hands together. Inhale, elbows widen, expand your ribs. Exhale, press the hands forward, rounding the back, tuck the chin a little bit. Inhale, skyward. Let's take it into a side stretch here. Inhale up, exhale to the other direction. Inhale up and exhale, sweeping the arms back behind you. Roll the shoulder blades back, lift the heart. And exhale back to namaste. This is called circle of joy. Let's do it once again. Inhale, wide elbows. Exhale, pulling navel to spine. Inhale, stretch upward. Take a side stretch. Keep the pelvic floor lifting throughout. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up, sweeping outward. Collect the hands behind you and draw the shoulder blades down. Make sure when you do that you have your abdominal tone and lift up the heart. Exhale, namaste, hands. Take a cleansing breath. All right, let's come out of our sitting position. Feels good to stretch out the legs, doesn't it? Shake them out. And I think we're gonna come down on the floor and do some floor work first, and then come up and do some standing stuff. So move your things out of the way. And come all the way down onto your mat. I'm organizing my iPad so I can see you if possible. Most of you have taken your video off, so it's not really helping me at all. Too bad. I like seeing you. All right, come down onto your mat, and if you have them, have a couple of blocks, a strap, or something that you can use for those things, a blanket if you need one. It's nice to have that for your knees or for your head. I'm going to start with my head on this. So take a moment to get comfortable in what we call constructive rest position. Feel your belly rise and fall here. Now let's lift up one foot and then the other so your hands are on the knees. We'll do some wave breathing. Draw the knees in towards you so you feel the length of your back. And then press them out away from you. You feel your back finds a curve. Exhale, drawing the knees close to you. Stretch out that lower back. Inhale, push the knees away. Let's do a few more like that. As you go into the knees towards you part, you're exhaling, feeling that length and stretching into it. In the lumbar spine where we often do get tightness. Hello there, Ginger Bear. Hi. And then push the knees out away from you and use your hands to roll the knees around. Keep them together so you're rolling around the perimeter of your sacrum. Take your time. Again, just noticing where there might be more tender places. Pay attention to those. Give them a little bit more time, slow it down. Massaging all those glute muscles that are attaching in there. Let's go around the other way. Okay, coming back to center. Open the arms nice and wide and have your knees above you. If you do have a block, you could put the block in between your knees to stabilize them so that you have something to press with. And we're going to take the knees out to the side. Let's go to the right. Shoulders on the floor. Just going a little ways. Inhale to center. Exhale out to the left. Inhale, center. And out to the right. And pause here so you feel you're holding that weight off the floor here. Inhale, center. Exhale out to the other side and pause. Working the muscles on the sides of the waist, those obliques. Let's keep going with that. Okay, Ginger Bear, do you need to go anywhere? Sorry. And one more set to each side. And bring it back. Let's go ahead and touch the feet down. Take the block out. If you need to, straighten your legs out for a moment. Shake out the knees. And then we're going to bring the knees up again. Place the feet on the floor though, so you're not lifting them. And let's keep the knees pointing up. Take a big in-breath and exhale, flatten the back, navel to spine. Inhale back to your natural curve. And then exhale again. This time keep your lower back nice and long and flat. And breathe without releasing that back from the floor. Just breathe here, a few more breaths. Feel what's helping you keep this position. Are your feet actively helping out a lot? If so, just kind of take a little bit of the effort out of the feet, and you'll also feel that your front body core is working to keep you flat like this. And if you take some of that work out of your legs, you might feel your core take over a little bit more. Can you feel that? Just lighten up your feet. You're still on the floor. I'm not asking you to lift them yet, but you can feel that work. Okay, let's relax for a moment. Take another breath and do it again. Exhale, flatten the back. You're shortening from pubic bone to the bottom of your ribs. Shorten that. Keep your shoulders down. Now we're going to keep that flat back and do some toe taps. Bringing one knee in towards you and slowly lift the other heel and reverse. Tapping the floor with your toes. Alternate while you keep your lower back pressed to the floor. Go slow. If this feels too challenging for you, take it in smaller segments, just putting both feet down and relaxing the back momentarily. And then do it again, pressing flat and starting over. So really listen to yourself. Take as many breaks like that as you need to. Eventually, you might be able to extend the time that you're doing it. Keep pulling your ribs down. Don't let them pop up. That'll help you utilize your core a little bit more and keep those lower back muscles long. Otherwise, what they want to do is tighten up and shorten, which arches the back and puts the back at risk for this. So we're strengthening the core right now. Remember, take a little break if you need to. Just a breath is probably enough. Come back into it when you're ready. Flatten the back. Keep it going. Remember that we're not opening and closing the knees with this. The bent knee is moving forward and back. Okay, let's finish it up. Touch down with both feet and take a cleansing breath, a big ha breath. From here, let's keep going with this core strengthening in front. So lift up both feet one at a time and bring them up, knees over hips. And here's what the legs are doing. They're sliding forward and back, like the shin is on the same plane as the floor. I mean, it's on a plane parallel to the floor. Okay, and then here's, excuse me, here's what the arms are doing. So when my knee gets close to me, my arm on that side goes down toward the foot. And the other knee is going away from me, and my arm is going away from it. So they're going opposite. Knee is coming towards me, hand is going past it. And when the leg goes extended, the arm goes behind me. Okay, this is dead bug. If you need a rest, remember, just come back to the middle, press your lumbar spine flat, or at least try to keep your ribs down. This is harder to keep a flat back, and you don't have to, but what you do need to do is keep your ribs down. Don't let your ribs pop up. You want to be using your front body strongly. But remember, if you get tired, you can just take little breaks in the middle and then start over again. Okay, let's take a break. hands on knees. Draw them towards you, both of them, and rock side to side. And let's place the feet on the floor and take a cleansing breath. Let's take a little more, let's take the emphasis off the core for a bit and raise up the left leg. You can reach around behind it and hold that in the midst of your thighs there, in the midst of the thigh, right in the middle. Draw the shoulder blades down and reach up through that heel. Just a gentle coax of stretch throughout the whole back of his leg. Let's take a few breaths here and just enjoy the sensations. Keeping the back level so you're not tipping to one side here. Now, as I pull this leg towards me, I'm flattening my back. Let's push the leg into the hands until the arms straighten and you have your natural curve. Keep the leg firm. You may notice the stretch goes more into the hamstrings here and less into the calf area. Or in this position with the natural curve, let's point the foot. Feel the front of the shin get a stretch, the front of the foot, and flex, and point. Keep it going. Take your time with each stretch. So you give those muscles a chance to relax, a chance to extend. And now make circles with the foot. Trying to work all the places that take the brunt of our actions. So grateful that they can help us out. These feet of mine, all the little muscles that support them, they get tired. Let's go around the other way. And then bringing that knee down, let's set the foot and we'll do the same thing on the other side, starting with the hamstring stretch. Draw the hands behind the thigh, straighten the leg, and pull the thigh closer to you so that you flatten your back. You might even be able to straighten your leg more there. And let's just hang out here with flat back, leg towards you. Foot is in flexion, but it may not be fully in flexion, just until you feel that stretch in the calf and all the way up behind that leg. Feel the ease of your breath. And now push your thigh into your hands until your arms straighten and the leg is pointing more directly upward. And you have that natural curve in your back. So you want to have your arms long, your leg skyward. And everybody's arms and legs are different, ratios of length and so forth. So yours may not look exactly like mine. What we're trying to do is find that vertical position where you have the natural curve in your lumbar spine. And it should put the stretch more into your hamstrings. It does in mine, in my position, with my body parts. And from here, let's point and flex. Keep that going. Going slow and appreciating the sensations that arise. And let's now make circles with the foot. And back the other way. And then bring that knee down, foot down, and set them on the floor. Take a cleansing breath. Okay, let's move the spine through its motions, putting a blocker pillow between your legs. Do some bridge roll-ups. And here I'm going to take my blanket out from under the head so I don't lift my head up while I'm doing this. We want a neutral spine. The only good reason to have a blanket under your head for doing this is if you happen to have a muscular back that makes your head feel like it's falling back. You don't want that. You want to start out getting your head level so that your chin and forehead are neutral. That should put a curve in your neck, a natural curve, chin and forehead level, and keep a little space in the front of your neck. Draw your shoulder blades down. Take a big in-breath and exhale as you lift the pelvis off the floor, using your legs for this. Big in-breath. And exhale that breath out, slowly coming down through each vertebra, articulating that space between each one until your whole lumbar spine's on the floor. Then inhale to your natural curve. Exhale, push your feet down, lift the pelvis, reach with your tailbone here toward that block. Fill up with the breath. And exhale, slowly coming nice and slowly down, feeling that space between each vertebra. When you get there, inhale to your natural curve. Exhale, press up. And you know what to do now, so you inhale when you're up here. You come down slowly. The whole thing takes 2 breaths. Keep it going. And when you get down from the one that you're on, you can just take that block out and bring the knees to your chest. Rock side to side. Okay, and setting your feet down on the floor, we're going to roll over to one side and press up to sitting. We'll come back and do a few more things on the floor in a bit. But for now, let's come up sitting and have your legs on your right. I'm trying to give you a mirror, so I look like I'm going in the same direction you are, hopefully. So as you're in this position, you have the front foot against the back thigh. Most of you have done this one before. And we're lifting up for the Bharadvajasana twist. Draw inward and upward from your pelvic floor. Let's use this front hand today on the front thigh, not the top, not setting down on it, but pressing it back towards its foot. And that will help you twist. Turning out towards your left. Draw inward, your pelvic floor lifts, your TA is lifting up through the spine to the heart. Can you breathe here? Tailbone is sort of lengthening down towards the floor. Gentle squeeze of the spine. Let's unwind it. Inhale tall and exhale, wind it again. Feel how your core is helping out with this. Lifting up to lengthen so that all the side body muscles can hug in. Unwind again. Did your body want to go a little farther the second time? Let's try it once more and see. Big in breath and exhale. Press your front thigh. Broaden your collarbones. And gently unwind. Swing the legs forward. And then to the other side. Front foot against back thigh. Your hand that's supporting you is kind of in line with your hip. Your top hand is forward on the thigh. Inhaling, lift up. Exhaling into your twist. You'll notice that I'm holding it way past the exhale. Inhale, open. So I hope you breathe during that time. And again, exhale, twisting.
Donna, we lost you.
What's that?
It's okay now, we lost you for a minute.
You know what it was? Is I saw it. It was a telephone call coming in on my phone, even though, I wasn't hearing it or anything. You got me now? I didn't know if that would affect me or not. I don't know how to.
Yeah, you're back.
Thank you. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Just kind of unwind from whatever you're in. Lift up tall. And we'll exhale once more into the twist. While you're in it, keeping that pelvic floor uplift, and still you can breathe. We've already noticed that we can breathe and use our core at the same time. It's a wonderful thing. Okay, unwinding gently. Let's bring our feet forward so the soles of the feet are touching in Baddha Konasana. If you need to, you could put blocks under your thighs to support you here. If it's not hard on your hips, then just let them dangle. Inhale, get tall. Your knees, let them dangle. Get nice and tall. And draw your heart forward. Can you broaden across your collarbones a little bit as you draw your heart forward? Roll the shoulders back. You might be feeling this in your lower back or your hips. Just gently coaxing out ease. Maybe you want to play with this a little bit. Does it feel good to just move your spine from one side to the other as you do this? Or maybe it feels good to work your spine around like we did at the beginning. Remember, this is all about creating ease in the body. Small, repetitive motions can have a big effect on releasing, especially if we do them mindfully. Small, careful, and then when you find something that feels especially good, especially needful, you can hang out there. Okay, coming back to neutral. Extend your legs out in front of you. Draw the toes back towards you and shake out your legs. Let's do a stretch here for the legs and the buttocks and lower back. Hands on the sides. Start with hands pressing down. I'm using my fingertips. Pushing down with my fingertips, broaden the collarbones, and press down through the backs of the knees. Now draw your heart forward until you feel the resulting stretch, whatever that is for you. As I said, it could be in several places. Keep the knees engaged downward. Just breathe here. Bring shoulders back, sitting straight up. Let's try that again. So we're gonna slide the hands just back so the fingertips are near your hips. Roll the collarbones wide. Draw up from the pelvic floor. And then lean forward with your heart. So you should be feeling like you're coming forward on your sitting bones. That the back end of your back side of your sitting bone is kind of less, taking less weight. And the front side of your sitting bone is taking more. Knees pressing down. Feel where your stretch is. And let's come back up, the broad heart. Sweep the arms skyward. Seated staff pose. Imagine yourself as a 90-degree angle right there from your sitting bones. Smooth breath. The arms could be wide here. And lower them down carefully. Take a cleansing breath. Interestingly enough, that many of the poses that we do are the same pose, whether you're sitting, standing, or lying down. We just do them in different orientations to space. The one we just did was downward dog. Could you tell? Let's do that one. Let's do downward dog. So come first into an all fours position. And if you can do that without a blanket, great. Because we're not gonna hang out here right away. So we'll start out in downward dog. Tuck your toes under, from fours, and draw your abdominals in. So first, you'll notice that pulls you into cat tilt. When you're in cat tilt, the spine's rounding. When you're in dog tilt, your spine's neutral. So we want to come up from dog tilt, but lifting from your pelvic floor, lift up, taking the knees off the floor, push your hands into the floor, and stretch your buttocks skyward, lifting up. So I'm gonna tuck mine in. Since I'm on camera and you're not. All right, and once you're up there, you can bend one knee and straighten the other. Go ahead and do that. Stretching your arms long. Keep your spine long. Don't let it cat tilt. You want that front body to stay as long as the back. Good. You can also be doing this at the wall. Some of you don't like to do downward dog, so you're welcome to be doing it like this with your hands on the wall or a counter and stretching back through the hips. Kitchen counter stretch. That's another way of approaching downward dog. It's the same. Now can you stop for a moment with your pumping and just feel this is the same position we were in when we were sitting with our arms up over our head. It's just like seated staff pose. Okay, from your downward dog or your wall pose, walk your feet towards the hands. Ground through the feet so they're taking your weight, and lighten up the hands. Now lift from your pelvic floor and start stacking your spine, coming up to standing. And let's take a cleansing breath here. Sorry, something on my phone so I can't see my whole image. And take a cleansing breath as you inhale, reach skyward. Exhale, back and down. Again, inhale, reach up. And exhale, back and down. Do that again. And releasing down. Let's clasp here. Rolling the shoulders back. Root your tailbone down and lift up the heart. Good. Just gentle stretch across the heart. Now lift your hands back behind you if you can. So you're feeling that even more as the shoulder blades draw together. Good. And release down. Shrug the shoulders. Do you have a wall nearby or a shelf or something that you can put your hand on? I'm going to put my hand out on the wall sideways. And it's just about shoulder height. So, you know, it's hard for me to show this very well. But I'm just putting my hand out at the same height as my shoulder, like that. With the fingers pointing behind me. And lifting up here, ground through your feet, and turn towards the screen. So you're broadening across your chest. Should feel like a nice stretch through that. The arm that you have on the wall and that chest connected to it. Good, and unwind. Let's do that on the other side. So just turn around. You have a slight bend in your elbow, but the arm is at, the hand is at shoulder height. Again, lift up through the heart. And as you turn towards the screen, you'll feel the arm straighten. Maybe want to put it a little farther behind you if you need to get the stretch. We're just working to coax the stretch out of the front body and the armpit area and the arms. Arm muscles get overused and tight. Okay, relax and release. Just shake out your arms. Notice how they feel. Okay, let's tense the arms now at the elbows, making kind of fists with your hands. We're going to stabilize the pelvis so it doesn't move. Root the tailbone down. My feet are about hips width apart. And turn from the waist. Turning one direction and then the other. Can you feel the obliques in the sides of your waist? So let's take a short turn, pause, and come back to center. Short turn, pause, and come back to center. Let's do that a couple more times. Feeling the pelvis is stabilized with your TA and the rooting of your tailbone. Okay, let's come back to center. Still working with these a little bit, the obliques. Let's bend the knees, push the buttocks back, and keep the pelvis stabilized. And we're working above the pelvis, working the obliques and the quadratus lumborum in the lower back. Nice and slow winding movement here. But I am, you may notice, if I get my arm out of the way, I'm trying to keep the natural curve in my back as I go around. I am not rounding the back as I go around. Keep that nice long spine, nice open front body like you do in downward dog. And go back around the other way. And coming back upright. Let's stretch the back in a different way. We'll stretch it in a forward bend. So to do this, bring your feet hips width apart. Let's bend the knees here. Bringing elbows down onto thighs. Take a moment to just let your back rest here so all the weight is on your forearms. And then slowly let yourself in deeper. Letting your belly rest on your thighs maybe, and your hands come down to touch the floor. Let your head relax so that the crown of your head is dropping to the floor. And once you get in this relaxed position, your legs are working. Let's begin to stretch the legs gently upward, lifting the sitting bones while the back is still relaxed. Just go to your edge. If you can straighten your legs, great. If not, that's all right too. You just want to go to where you feel the stretch in your legs. If this does hurt your back, bend your knees more. When you're in your forward bend, let your head stay relaxed. And you can nod your head like you're saying yes, releasing the neck. And you can turn the head like you're saying no, with all the spaciousness in the neck. Feel the ease of turning your head. Bring it back to center. And to come up, let's rebend the knees, but add more pelvic floor, more TA, and slowly stack your vertebra coming up. And back up to standing. Take a cleansing breath. And just notice how you feel in standing mountain pose. Enjoy the breath. Enjoy this stillness and the gift of this moment. Let's take it into another movement of the spine. We'll take it into a back bend. So let's begin by standing so you face the short end of your mat and step forward with your left foot. Bringing your front knee over your front foot. So it's like a warrior one position. Straighten firmly your back leg and align your hips so they're both facing forward. Your back foot might need to be turned slightly out, but it's mostly forward. Just do what you can to get that foot down. And then from here, bring your hands up. Let's put the palms together like a steeple over your head. And then press the elbows wide. As you do this, lift up the heart, lengthen your waist, and gently draw yourself into a back bend, a standing back bend, this is called. As you lift the heart, lengthen the spine, keep lifting out of each vertebra. And your gaze could go up without dropping your head back. You're just keeping the natural round, the natural curve that you're creating in your whole spine here. That's it. Feel the freedom in your front body and breathe into that. Your heart open. Good, to come out of it, straighten your front leg and reach skyward, even taller. Arms alongside your ears. And then release and step together. Let's do the other side. So your right foot is the forward foot, left foot is back. I'm going to face the camera this time. Right foot's forward, bent knee. Stabilize and draw your hips to face forward. Lift out of your waist. And let's take the arms up, palm to palm, pressing the elbows wide. And that pressing open through the elbows, can you feel how that helps to lift up the heart? Use more TA to stabilize your lower back, more abdominals. That's the TA is your transversus abdominis. Lift up the heart until you feel that nice curve that's extending from your tailbone all the way up forward, creating this nice even curve. If you like, you can stretch the arms wide if that helps you feel more comfortable here, keeping that stabilized core. Smooth breath and lots of freedom. Now reach the arms skyward, interlace them and lengthen here. Even more. Arms by the ears, stretch through the arms. I feel my triceps getting a nice stretch. And then let's just step together with hands in this upward position. Take a cleansing breath. Right, let's do one more standing shape for our spine. Let's do a side stretch, the crescent moon pose. We'll start with just one arm up, so taking up your left arm. Feet are together. Tailbone roots down and lift up taller. Inhale tall, exhale into the side stretch. And your lower arm can be pressing a little bit here. And that, feel how that pressure helps you lengthen your spine, giving you some stable place to lengthen from. Inhale, rise, and exhale down. Let's take the other arm up. Stretch tall and root your tailbone down, and exhale into your side stretch. Lower hand is pressing. Feel your spine grow long. Just opening up all the muscles on that right side. Inhale, rise, and flow that arm down. Release any tension left over in your shoulders. We're going to do a balancing now. So I don't know if we've done this on Zoom, at least not in my house. So we're going to stand at one end of your mat I hope you can see me. I'm standing on the middle of my mat at the end, and we're gonna act as though we're walking the tightrope here, or the balancing beam. Okay, so we're going to do it real slow and mindful, and I'd like you to pay attention to how you're using your core. Eyes gaze forward. Don't look down at your feet. Try to find a gazing spot where your eyes are relaxed and steady. Relaxed. They don't have to be tight and tense. And we're going to shift our weight into the right foot. Take the left foot forward so the heel touches the big toe on the right. Now shift your weight into the left foot, lifting the right heel. Shift back into the right foot again. Shift forward. Weight in the left foot. Now step the right foot around. Shift into the right. Left heel rises. Shift back into the left foot. Shift forward. We'll use forward and back now. Bring the back foot around. Shift into the new front foot. Into the back foot. Into the front foot. And bring the back foot around. Make sure you're staying on your tightrope. And shift forward. And back. And forward. And stabilize. And set that back foot forward. Let's continue this. It's a shift forward, a shift back, a shift forward, and a step around. When you get to the end of your mat, you can step off onto the platform. And you can start going back the other way. Going backwards. We're not turning around, we're just going backwards. Shifting forward. And when you shift back, step around. Shift back. Shift forward. Shift back. Step behind. Keep it going. Could you do it with your eyes closed? When you get to the back end of your mat, go ahead and step off onto your platform. And take a rest when you get there. Let everyone catch up. Take a cleansing breath. All right, coming back to the middle of your mat. Wow, this time slipped away again. So yes, let's come back down onto our mats again. So onto your belly side, please. Like this. And let's start in Sphinx pose. So our elbows are straight down from the shoulders. And from here, your forearms are stretched ahead with fingertips on the floor. Check that your elbows are not behind your shoulders. I'm demonstrating that if you can see me. You want your elbow lined up with your shoulders or a little bit ahead. And let's curl the tailbone around toward the floor. Feel your pubic bone against the floor and pressing down with your forearms. Use them to help lengthen your torso. Growing up through the points of your ears, growing up through the crown of your head. Your gaze is forward. It's not up, it's forward. Even lengthening through the back of your neck. Smooth breath. Just feel all the little muscles from one vertebra to the next. Feeling the effect of this pose as you gently stretch all of them out. Little tiny multifidi and paraspinals. Okay, let's come down onto the belly. And then slide your hands forward. So your belly is on the floor and your elbows are farther forward now. You're still in Sphinx though. Your whole belly is on the floor. Pull down or press down through the belly and imagine your hands are pulling the mat towards you. As you draw the mat towards you, lift up your heart, broaden your collarbones, lengthen the back of your neck, and feel the muscles in your upper back working gently. Since your whole belly is on the floor from rib cage to pubic bone, you're also stretching some frontal muscles that we've been working and some that we haven't. Stretching the psoas muscle. Okay, let's ease down, forehead to the mat this time. Bring your hands alongside the shoulders, right under the shoulders. Elbows are up. Press down through your pubic bone and without pressing into your hands, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Roll the shoulders back towards the hips. Now add some abdominal tone and lift up your heart. Baby cobra. My arms are really relaxed. And then ease down, forehead to the mat. Take another deep breath. And then root your tailbone down again and lift your heart back into baby cobra. And now shrug your shoulders back. Keep rooting your tailbone down. And if you want to come up higher, press a little more. Press with your hands and lift your heart. Roll the shoulders down the back. Press down the pubic bone. Cobra. Ease back and down. This time, keep your hands there. Just push up to all fours. Stretch back into a child's pose. Hips reaching towards the heels. Forehead can rest on the floor as you stretch into a full extended child's pose. Take a few breaths here. This is not my favorite pose, so I'm not in it. And as you feel ready to come out of child's pose, just press yourself up and bring yourself around onto your back. I only have one person that I can watch to see what my timing is. And that person just went off their video. We're going to put the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And then take your right hand. What did I just say? Your right ankle on top. So you want your right hand to go through and catch the leg for this figure 4 pose. We're catching that left leg, drawing it towards us. Creating that yummy stretch. Stretching out the lower back after the ones we just did, the cobra and sphinxes that we did. Those all shorten the back muscles, tighten them up, in fact. So we are stretching them out again. Whatever we do to the body in one direction, it's really helpful if we can take time to do it in the other direction. So I'm talking about when you're reaching forward, when you're weeding and all the things we do outdoors, for instance. It's really important if we can come back in and give those muscles a rest on the floor, stretching them the other way. Okay, let's unwind and do the other side, just reaching the left hand through the legs now, wrapping the right thigh and drawing the legs towards you. Remember, you can always explore this pose as you want to get more stretch through the spine or the buttock area, whatever feels like it's needing attention today. Exploration is good. Exploring with a slight tip or even a rocking motion. When you're in the rock, you might discover there's the stretch. Oh yeah, when I'm right there. So go back to that right there place and just be in it. Undo your legs here. So we just stretched the back side. Let's stretch the front of the groins, this area that gets awfully tight. The psoas, it's deep within there. So we'll start with our knees apart, feet on the edges of the mat, that wide. And then take your right knee across. So you're actually, come back to neutral. I'm gonna have you do this a little differently. Keep your right foot on the edge of the mat and let's straighten the left leg out. Now use your right foot to press down and arch yourself over toward the left. Reach with your tailbone to keep your lower back from getting too tight. You want to keep that long. Even though most of the stretch here is in the right thigh, quads, and the groin area. That's where the psoas is. Now take your right arm and stretch it along the floor out to the side or back behind you. Keeping the right shoulder down and feel that stretch coming from your thigh through the groin and side all the way out to your fingertips. And gently release that down. We'll slide the left foot in and stretch out the right leg. And use the left foot pressing down to roll yourself onto the right buttock and hip. Keep tucking the tailbone until you feel the quads engage on this left leg. And then you can slide the left hand around from the side, back behind you, on the floor, coaxing the stretch out of this whole left side, from the thigh, through the hip and groin, through the armpit, and let's gently ease back down. Realign your spine. And we'll get ready for our final relaxation now. Now you might have a wall near you like I do, and perhaps you could swing your legs up the wall for a legs up the wall pose. You're welcome to do that if you like, or putting your legs up on a couch or elevated onto a chair. Those are great ways of having a simple inversion that draws the fluids out of your extremities and back to the heart. So if you've been standing on your feet a long time, working out in the yard, or maybe you've just been taking long walks, it's really a good idea to come back after those and give yourself this chance to let the fluids move out of your legs and feet and back into the heart area and brain. So taking a few moments to get yourself set up for however you're going to take Shavasana, whether it's legs up the wall pose or some other pose. Feel the weight of your shoulders and neck and head in whatever position you're in. And you might want to just loosen up the neck by rolling the head side to side just a bit until it finds this perfect resting place that it likes. And your hands can be at your side, or perhaps you'd like to bring them onto your belly and feel the rise and fall of your belly under your hands. Enjoy the weight of your hips. Can you let them become a little heavier? The hips are connected to the lower back. And if your lower back is still a little tight, it might be pulling on your hips. So try to relax and let the weight of your hips settle. If your hips are heavy, most likely your legs are relaxed. So just scan through the body here and enjoy the process. Shavasana is a process more than a specific pose. It's the process of releasing consciously in the present moment. Because it's a process, you can really do Shavasana almost any time, anywhere. The process of consciousness with intention. Intention here of letting go, moment by moment, letting go a little bit more. If your mind wants to wander, just keep bringing it back to the body. Use your mind like a scanner, just continuously scanning, releasing. The mind, as the scanner, can notice everything evenly, even-mindedly. Conscious without reactivity. The mind is in the breath. We'll take time to allow for a couple of deeper breaths, using the depth of your breath to reach deep in your body, to the places that are not on the surface, to the deep places, perhaps in your heart that need release, perhaps in your organs. Breathe deep in those places now. And let go of any tension you've been holding there. When you're ready, slowly bring yourself back into the room. Maybe moving your tongue inside the mouth first, then your fingers and feet. And then when you're ready, ease yourself over to a sitting position. And just take a moment to notice how you feel as you get comfortable in your upright position. Sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed. Sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed. What a great mantra that is to take into our week. Let's bring our hands together at the heart as we close our class this morning. Feel free to chime in with me. I rise today blessed by all things.
I rise today, blessed by all things.
May I live this day compassionate of heart.
May I live this day compassionate of heart,
Gentle in words,
gentle in words,
gracious in awareness,
gracious in awareness,
courageous in thought,
courageous in thought,
and generous in love.
and generous in
Oh. Om peace. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being part of the class today.